Hi guys, so today I wanted to show you how to create this look. So I wanted to share all of my tips and tricks with you guys. We're going to be using all of these brushes today. I don't know if any of you guys still have this or if it's just me and I'm weird, but I really like to save my makeup from when I very first started, like 10 years ago when I actually started like caring about doing my makeup. But one of the very first things that I bought was this from Sigma. It's the Flare eyeshadow palette. That pop of color there was like, whoa, like so exciting for me. It's been through a lot. I've taken it with me through several houses. I just really like to keep my old makeup. But anyway, that is kind of how I started with Sigma. They are celebrating their 10-year anniversary, which is really exciting for them. I personally use their makeup and their brushes all the time. They're cruelty-free and vegan, and the brush itself is like really durable and strong. It is lightweight, it's waterproof, it's made with a resin handle that actually has an interlocking ferrule system where it is double threaded, and they also have a 2-year warranty, which is amazing. So if you guys are interested, definitely check them out down below at the link and make sure to use my coupon code to save some money. Please leave a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and let's go ahead and get started. Sigma eyeshadow base primer, and this is in the shade Persuade. I like to use my finger for this because the warmth just kind of helps it to really sink into the skin. Sigma E35 Tapered Blending is the first brush I'm going to be using. Warm Neutrals Volume 2 eyeshadow palette. This is definitely one of my favorites that they've ever come out with. I'm gonna pick up Passion Fruit. So you can see my crease is actually right here, but I'm going to end up lifting my crease a bit by applying it just a little bit higher up. I'm gonna do the exact same thing again, starting in the middle and then slowly working my way inwards and outwards. When I feel like there's nothing left on the brush, that is when I will start to kind of buff out the edges a bit with an even lighter touch. So I'm just like barely feathering in. If you want to make sure you're not applying too much pressure, just hold farther back. So I guess I kind of do more like small circles to blend it out as opposed to long swiping motions. I mean, I guess you can do whatever you like, but I kind of like to just focus it in one area at a time. The Sigma E34 Domed Utility. I'm going to use this to pick up the shade Henna. So this is the darkest one that we're going to be using today. Tap off the excess so you don't have any fallout on your face. I will pack the shadow on with patting motions like this, starting from this lower lash line area here and then up into that outer V. But you don't want to bring this up too high. That is the trick. To give your eye that nice dimension, you really want to keep it on the lower end. So once I feel like I've got it packed on evenly, I'm going to pick up a tiny bit more of Passion Fruit in our first brush. Again, you guys heard me tap it off, and I'm not picking up nearly as much as I did in the beginning. Just a tiny little bit, and I'm going to very lightly buff this out, and I am holding it at the very end this time because I just really want to feather this up into the crease without applying too much color. And then I'm going to start working this little line out right here, and I am just packing this on layer by layer. Hold it at the very end and then just buff it out. So I'm actually going to go in now with the shade Rouge. So to do that, I'm going to use the Sigma E25 blending brush. This is perfect for adding color to the eye in specific areas. So with this, I'm going to hold it at the very end again because I really just want to kind of like feather this over top of what we just laid down. So I mainly wanted to use henna to actually darken this shadow up a bit. I'm just layering it on so lightly. Sigma Clean Up and Highlight Brow Crayon. Applying this right into the inner corner here. Sigma E35 Cream Color Brush. So you don't need to swipe, you just tap. And it'll blend right out. Sigma E57 Firm shader. I will be using the shade Humble. Tap off the excess. And again, we're just going to pat this right over top. So then I'm just gonna kind of slowly start working this back, but only when I feel like I don't have much on the brush. I kind of want this to be like a gradient into the pink and then the red, so I'm really focusing the majority of the color right in that inner corner. That really brightened it up in the inner corner there. I'm gonna use the Sigma gel liner in Wicked. Look at how tiny this brush is. It's the Sigma E06 winged liner. So it looks like this once I've picked it up onto the brush, right? Blend it on the back of your hand like this from side to side, and that'll really just coat the brush properly. You guys see that? Much better. Hold it about in the middle range because this is gonna be some crazy looking eyeliner if I hold it all the way on the end. But then if I hold it too close, I feel like I'm like too close to my eye, so I just do it right in the middle. Usually start at the very center of my eye and just make tiny little strokes as close as I can to my lash line. And I'm going straight back. And then I flip it, close my eye, and get this outer corner here too. I'm going inwards. So for this, I just start like right at the very end of my eye and I follow my lower lash line up with really tiny strokes. And I'm basically using the point of the brush to do that. So you see where I'm holding it like this instead of like this. You want to use the point. I'm just going to slowly from the tip of the wing work it down. And then fill it up. So I put the lashes on, guys, and that is what it looks like now. I really like the way that it's turning out for my face. Actually, I definitely need a lot of coverage today because it's that time of the month for me, and I definitely have some breakouts right here that I need to cover. This side's fine. Well, he's okay, but this side is like, whoa. Help me please. Hydrate the skin, and for that I'm going to use the Hey Honey Good Morning Honey Silk Facial Serum. So I just do about 2 pumps of this, and it's made with vitamin E and amino acids and lots of things to plump up and brighten and hydrate your skin. Next I'm going to use the CoverGirl Illuminating True Blend Base Business Skin Primer. I really like this because it's oil-free, so it doesn't break me out, and it also gives my skin a really nice glow as well. Let me know how you guys like this setup right now. I actually moved my room around a little bit, and I put my fairy lights back up, and I'm using half sunlight, half studio lights right now. I was hoping maybe it would give me a more like natural look to my footage so you guys could actually like see my skin better. We're gonna use the Shiny Cosmetics Cream Concealer palette today. We're gonna use the Sigma F75 concealer brush, which looks like this. I already kind of used it a little bit. Go into this green concealer here and just start tapping it over my redness. So I'm just gonna lay down the color first. And then I'm gonna wipe off the brush, and I'm gonna go back in and just kind of tap over the edges. For my nose, I really like to use the Clinique Beyond Perfecting Concealer in 6.5 Buttermilk. For some odd reason, this is the only way I can get my foundations to stick to my nose. Sigma F82 round kabuki brush. I'm gonna buff that in with patting motions. And I love using these kabuki brushes. Like, I seriously forgot how much I loved them because I've been like obsessed with sponges lately. But oh my gosh, guys, These kabuki brushes give you so much coverage. I don't know what I was doing with my sponges. So just mainly tapping and then buffing out the edges. For my actual foundation today, I'm gonna use the Born This Way medium to full coverage, and it's in the shade Nude. Just gonna apply it to my face first. And this is not even one pump. This is like half a pump. Sigma F80 Flat Kabuki. Press the product into the skin. And I'm using tapping motions again because I laid down that green color corrector concealer first, and I don't want to disrupt that and move that around. I still want to get coverage. That's actually a pretty good match. I'm actually going to do a mixture of the Flawless Fusion Ultra Longwear Concealer from Laura Mercier in 2N and the Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer from Catrice Cosmetics in Natural Rose. Sigma F68 Soft Blend Concealer Brush to buff this out into the skin. I'm getting close up there into that eye area, a little bit on the side of the nose. And then I'm going to slowly work it back. But I really like this because I feel like it diffuses the concealer into the foundation so beautifully. And I'm only going to apply this really close to that inner corner area, down the nose, on the center of the chin, Cupid's bow, and the center of the forehead as well. Sigma F87 Edge Kabuki, so you guys can see this is like a triangular shape, perfect for the nose. Look at that, perfect shape. Even right here too, right in between the eyes. I mean, the eyebrows. And just tap it all in, and then right here in that inner corner, just tapping very lightly. But I like this brush, you know, it keeps everything where I want it. Sigma Sculpt Highlight and Contour Palette. We're gonna use Faking It first because that is more taupe than this guy over here. This one's a little too dark for me. And we're gonna use the Sigma F40 Large Angled Contour Brush. This one's super fluffy and soft, and it's the perfect shape for getting into your cheekbones or along your jawline area. Tap off the excess, and then I can already see the line like right there, just me chilling. I have pretty like dominant facial features, like my cheekbones are pretty high, so I can already see where I'm supposed to put this. But if you guys can't see, then go like this. I don't like it when my shadow appears like too far down, and if you immediately start blending right in there, right where the shadow is, you're gonna get a little bit underneath the shadow too, and you're gonna make the shadow even bigger than it already is. So what I do is I blend on top, like a little bit on top of it, so that way the bottom edges of where I'm blending kind of blend into where it actually is on the face. Does that make any sense at all? I don't know. And I'm also going to apply this under here as well, going back and forth. Gently run this down the sides of the nose as well. This is one of my favorite bronzer brushes here. It is the Sigma F30 Large Powder. It's huge and it is so incredibly soft. All of these brushes are soft, but this one in particular is like a fluffy pillow. Throw Shade and 24K. I'm going to actually mix those two together. Tap off the excess, and we're gonna just basically put this right over top of the contour. So for the forehead, I usually like to just start here and swipe it out. F80 Flat Kabuki, and just press the edges in to the skin. Sigma Blush Cheek Palette. So beautiful, I love this one. Sigma F15 Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush. This is my favorite type of brush to use for blush because it deposits the color onto the cheeks very lightly, so you can definitely build on it. I'm just gonna pick up pink in here and then put it right on the apples of my cheeks. You just go straight down from your eyeball, right where your iris is. Just go straight down, that's where the apples of the cheeks are. and I kind of do swirling motions outwards. I do like to dust on my blush pretty high up. I'm not sure why, I just really like the way it looks. So I'm kind of dusting a little bit onto the sides of the nose as well. So now I'm going to powder and use the Laura Mercier in Translucent Sigma F37 Spotlight Duster. This is the best brush for applying your powder onto your face. So what I do is I just pick up some of it like this, tap it onto this lid here, and then I kind of like swirl my brush in it and coat all the bristles, and then tap it again. Make sure I don't have any lines by tapping it in with my fingertip. And then I will literally, just like the name, I will dust it under the eyes. Like look up and just very gently dust it under the eyes. I'm going like this over and over again. And you'll see it'll just really soften out that under eye area, make it look poreless, just really blurred. And I do it really fast. And what's nice about a brush like this, because it's so loosely packed, it's not going to disrupt your concealer underneath. You just want to do it fast. And then also here on my smile lines, same exact motions where I'm like going outwards with it. A little bit onto the middle of the forehead and on the nose. And then I'm done. I literally used all that was on the very tip of the brush when I first put it in there. So it doesn't look like I caked on a whole bunch of powder, but I definitely used a decent amount of it. It's just the way you apply it is what makes it not look so cakey, and also the brush is so incredibly important. For the next step, I am going to use my Ciat London Dewy Spritz. Spray this on first, and it just helps all my makeup to melt in together. I have a different spray that I like to use for setting. So I'm going to spray it first out here before I spray it on my face to make sure that the spray is not weird and like, you know, chunks are coming out of water. We don't want that. So just test it by spraying it first out here. Okay, we're good. And then spray it all over your face. So now that we're about 80% dry, I'm going to use my Il Makiage Mineral Baked Highlighter in Halo. This is my definite favorite right now. And the Sigma F35 Tapered Highlighter. So what I like to do is pick up the color on the very tip of this brush here, top off the excess, and then first start by applying it right where, so you can already see where I'm getting highlight on my face, just naturally from the sun coming in through the window. That is where you want to apply it. So I'll usually apply it with the tip of the brush, and I'm holding very, very loosely because I don't want to choke up on it and then be like, you know, you want it to deposit the color very naturally and loosely onto your face so it's not super chalky looking or powdery. So I apply it where I want it first with the tip, and then I'll kind of use the side of the brush to really blend it out and give like a soft focus kind of look. So I'm just building on this, and the reason I like this so much is because it looks so natural. Like, are you kidding me? This doesn't look like a powder at all. I'm just going back and forth, picking up more if I feel like I need more, focusing it at the top of the cheekbone first, and then going back into the front. I'm going to put some on my chin and middle of the forehead, Cupid's bow as well. And that's what's nice about this brush, because it already comes to a nice tip, so you're not going to like get it all over the place. It'll go where you want it to go. I'm going to go back in with the Sigma Firm shader that we had used for that inner corner work, and I am going to apply some of this highlighter here. Open the eyes up a bit, and I'm also going to apply it on the brow bone as well, just to give me a nice highlight there. As for the lower lash line, we're going to go back to the Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2 eyeshadow palette here, and I have a special brush for this. I like to use an angle brush. Where is he? This guy right here, the Sigma E70 Medium Angled Shading. This is so perfect for lower lash line work. Passion fruit first. Pack that color onto the brush, tap off the excess, and holding it about middle range, on the handle, going back and forth under this eye area here. And one thing to note is eyeshadows look darker on your lower lash line than they do on your eye. So this pink that I'm putting down almost looks like rouge from the palette, just because it's under my eye area and I have highlighted it and I'm laying down a powder, and so therefore it's gonna look a lot more pigmented than it would, or than it did when we had first applied it. So you just want to first lay the color down, and then I kind of like to look down so I don't have to deal with any creases, and that way I can see that line that's going straight up to connect to the other eyeshadow. Then I'm going to use the Sigma E38 diffused crease, and I'm going to blend this out downward. Then we're going to go in with the Sigma E30 pencil brush, always a must-have for lower lash line work. And we're going to pick up henna here first, right on the tip of the brush, tap off the excess, and work this literally where your lashes are growing. And from there, blend it downwards. So this is the final look, and I really love the way it turned out. I feel like I explained as best as I could how to use makeup brushes, so hopefully you guys feel a little bit more informed now and can go ahead and, you know, do it yourselves. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know down in the comments. If you're interested in trying any of the brushes I used in this video, which are all from Sigma, the website is sigmabeauty.com. I'm going to link it down below, as well as every single brush that I used in order. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found it helpful, I would really appreciate it, and it would help out my channel so much if you guys could leave a thumbs up down below. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!